Hey everybody, this is Trade Wizard and I'm here for the monthly trade review for the month of July. July was a bit of a wild month. I had taken like 14 or 15 trades. I think 9 of them were winners and 4 of them were losers. I had taken these trades mainly on DAX and Gold. DAX is the German exchange. This is the daily chart on DAX, and as you can see, this is a bit of a choppy range here, and gold as well is on a range. So this is a daily chart on gold. So let's get on with the trades. This was a breakout trade on 5-minute chart on DAX. This is taken on July 7th. Getting a bit of drawdown for this trade, and eventually it went to the TP as you can see here. So this was another trade taken on gold actually on the 9th of July. This was, I could see that gold went down heavy a few hours earlier, and it went back up slightly, and so it did a bit of a fake out here, and I took the trade based on the 5-minute chart and closed the full position at this support here. Next I have a trade on the 1-minute chart actually on DAX here. So this was a trade taken on the 10th of July, so the next day. This trade actually bit of a breakout position. This trade I actually took on the 1-minute chart. This candle was engulfing bearish. So as you can see that this was in a bit of a downtrend, and I waited for this candle to break the low of the previous candle, and then I actually sat in a bit of drawdown. This was the point of the resistance, and I waited for a reaction here. A very nice this bearish candle came and actually went to the TP. So this next trade was taken on the 11th of July, and it was on the 1-minute chart on the DAX as well. So this was a bit of a similar trade, but as you can see here, I did not wait for the this candle to close below this support here, but it was all right. I guess it just took me out by a pip or so, and then it went to my TP as well. This next trade I took on the gold on the 5-minute chart on the 11th of July, and I have been looking at these trades that this was at the resistance level, and there was this bearish engulfing candle close below the support level, and these are SMAs. I'm looking at these days as well. This is the 8th SMA. This is the 8th SMA, and this bearish engulfing candle closed below this support level, and I took it on the 5-minute chart and closed this full position here. So this next trade I took on the 5-minute chart as well. This was on DAX. So this is a bit of an interesting position here because this was on the resistance level. As you can see, this was a resistance level here and as well, and this candle took liquidity as it broke the previous highs and closed back in the range, and this candle closed engulfing and also below this SMA, and I took it and I went break even on about this level and then close the full position here as well. So this next trade I took on the 1-minute chart. Again, this was a heavy bearish day, and price was moving very heavily on the 1-minute and the 5-minute charts. So I took this trade after this engulfing candle closed below the EMAs, but it was a bit of a bad position, I think, because this was a previous support level and I wanted to be break even here as well, but I got slipped on this trade, and my entry was bit right at the support level, so I sat in a bit of a drawdown, and eventually I closed right at my BE level around here as well, but then it broke the lows and it went to TP eventually. But this was a break-even trade. This next trade, I remember this was a bad trade, I think, because this candle actually had reach the target, I thought, but this was below my EMAs. I use EMAs or SMAs for confirmation, but I use SMAs for the confluence. So I took a buy seeing that it might reject from these 50 SMA, and this actually broke the high and went right back into the drawdown, and I never go to see much profit either, and this eventually hit the SL. So this is a position I am looking at these days. So this was rejecting, this can reject from the SMA, and this was actually a very good sell position right here, with SL here and TP below here. This was a sell taker on the 15-minute chart. Gold was, this is the setup 2 actually. I call it, the first one being the breakout and the second one being this uh, pullback position. This was taken on the 15-minute chart, and as you can see that this candle had a bigger upper wick and is this closed below, and I actually took it right here after this uh, this long wick formed, and eventually this went to TP as well. As you can see, this was a pullback position. I wanted to enter it here, but this was not the best candle, and the next candle actually did not have a top wick either. So this was a bit of a late entry, but I see it as a good position as well because it gold was trending heavily that day. Moving on to the next trade here. This was actually a sell position. I've been selling DAX a lot these days. This was a breakout position, setup one. As you can see, gold DAX closed below the 15-minute support that was here on the left hand side, and this candle closed nicely bearish, and I took it on the break of lows, SL above the highs here. So, and uh, I actually closed the full position here in a bit of a negative RR below 1 to 1, but as you can see, it would have hit the break even position. If I were to this big candle, you can't really guess where the price will move because uh, it's a bit of a bigger engulfing candle. This candle could have actually closed small bearish, and the next one could have actually closed bullish, and that happens a lot. But this was the London Open, and DAX actually went heavily bearish that day. This was also a sell taken on the 5 minute, but I had went a bit aggressive on this position because this was a high and this was a low, and price had actually went above this, making a higher high. So I should have actually waited for a structure to form below this, which actually formed here, and I should have taken this position, but I, because I had lost this position, I did not take this one and missed out. Well, I guess an okay loss because this was a fine candle and below the SMA, but it is what it is. This was also a sell on DAX and on the 5 minute chart. This candle actually closed a bit too deep for me, and I was looking at the volume here and I took this sell based on the 5 minute break of lows. My SL was back in this range. This was a 1 minute range, and I went to take the TP here at this support. So this was a buy position on the 5 minute chart on DAX. DAX was a bit bearish on this day, but this was a major support level. As you can see, major rejections here, and 5 minute candle closed right above this and above the EMA SMA, and I actually took this buy on the break of highs and came back below the entry, and but my SL was safe here. This was a higher low, and I actually closed this position right here at 1 to 1. This was, I think, a bad trade I took on the 5 minute chart. DAX was a bit overextended on this day, as you can see here, and I actually had the position at this break of high, and my SL was here, but as you can see, it was a bit far from the SMA, and this 5 minute had closed doji candle, and I had the opportunity to close the whole position here because a lot of time when these doji candles are formed, this is actually let's say a signal sort of to tell you that the price could go in the opposite direction here, which happened, and I took the full SL here. This was on the last day of the July. This was a sell position based on a pullback, and the price had closed below this support. I took this position on the break of the lows, and you can see that the price had actually did a pullback on the 5 minute chart. This was actually the zero point 0.5 level on the fib as well. So the price closed below this support, and I took this position here, and it came back to entry and went below again, and eventually this was a very good position if I had held, but I had closed at this support level. That's it for the month of July. I guess I will see you guys in a bit. So thank you for watching and happy trading.